We didn't have any more than 4 inches this year. We're supposed to have an average of 12.
Ben Mingus is a cattle rancher in southeastern Arizona. He's been managing the ranch for more than a decade, but he says this past year was tough.
And we're no strangers to drought either, but this was just a terrible, 2024 was a terrible year in terms of rainfall.
Because of the lack of rain, he's forced to spend money on hay for his cattle because it's so dry and nothing is growing.
When normally I would just leave them out there if we had any grass in that pasture at all.
A drought can cause the price of grain to spike, making it too expensive to buy. This forces some ranchers to make hard decisions about reducing herd sizes.
If it doesn't rain in the next year, then we'll be selling more than half our herd probably. So it's a pretty serious problem.
If we get into spring season, if we get lightning and it's this dry and there's no water anywhere, certainly wildflower concerns us.
That's Eric Glomsky, the founder and wine grower at Page Spring Cellars outside of Sedona.
And if it gets down and gets really dry around the fine roots, it'll kill them.
The lack of rain has forced him to irrigate in January, something he says he's never done before.
And the problem with that is we have freeze too. So I put all this energy into draining my irrigation systems and the things that aren't drained, insulating them and covering them up and getting them all ready for the winter. Well, now I have to undo all of that.
To protect his vineyard and business, he's hoping for better weather this year.
Rainfall replenishes our groundwater. And in a lot of areas, if we're still using it at the same rate we always have, but it's not being replenished at a sustainable rate, then I think we could run into trouble.
Now, there were some areas across the state that saw above average rainfall totals, with a lot of that falling earlier in the year. Last year, this is how it shaped up for Phoenix. We picked up about 4.5 inches of rain on average. We should have gotten more than 7 inches. In the studio tonight, I'm Holly Bach for Arizona's Family.